What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I've been very open about your lost journey over the last season, and Yaya seems he's kind of been picking up on that as well. So how do you think you've been able to lead as an example in that aspect?
You know, one of the things that, really like pressed me like last year is I get an opportunity to speak at the NFL Combine every year. Been doing that for like the last 18 years. And one of the bigger things that I always tell them is about every year you have to show up as your best self. And I'm just going to be really honest with you. I was starting to feel like a fraud with that because I'm talking to some of the most elite athletes that are going to play, go to Super Bowls, make millions of dollars, but I'm about 150 pounds overweight. And although I was carrying it well, right, I really took an interior look at myself and said I wanted to be better. I'm always challenging our guys to be better. So from that standpoint, I got with this little guy right here. He was my accountability partner. And, man, I just really took it as an opportunity to see Boulder. I walk the campus every day. I walk basically where I live in Broomfield every day. Just really got to it, man. And every day I just realized I was a better coach, better person, better father, just a better man just by showing up better every day. I appreciate the question, though.
Coach Prime originally hired you, at least your first title was surrounding leadership, and that's obviously a lot of what you've done. And that was a huge topic last year, the lack of leadership, struggling to find it. When you went into the portal this year, when you went to recruit this year, how did you address finding better leaders?
Man, that's an excellent question. And that was the emphasis, right? Here's the toughest thing about the transfer portal for every university. You don't necessarily know what you're going to get until you got them. And then when you get them, you got to put them in extreme situations, extreme pressure to find out how they're going to respond. So what we did this year was a lot different than what we had ever done in the past, which was pay more attention to that. Like, how does that person actually respond under pressure? And as you can see, and as the other coaches have said, particularly up front, the guys that we have, when pressure hits, they don't crumble or they don't crack or they don't sink. They actually protrude forward. Right? They take coaching, really hard coaching very well. We got 4 different coaching styles in the room. And it's good because you got at least four different personalities in the room. So when you're trying to make a group cohesive, the very first thing you got to figure out is how are they going to gel? Do they have the ability to gel? Have they ever been under any type of pressure or extreme circumstance, and how they do with it? So I think that's one of the better things that we've done this year.
How do you evaluate that without knowing these guys and doing it in such a short period of time?
Yeah, in that short period of time, you got to be really good about how you actually find out information about those guys. And then when you do get the opportunity to get them on campus, you have to be specific and purposeful and intentional about the questions that you're asking them. Really putting them in the situations where you know you're going to need them to be their best. And this is something we probably always heard. You always hear people say, your best ability is your availability. I've always never believed that. I've always believed that your best ability is to be your best when we need you the most. And all the guys that we've had to this point have proven that when they get in those situations, they tend to lean forward as opposed to stop and see what everybody else is going to do.
Right. Coach, I have a couple questions for you. First off, Phillip Houston was a starting tackle here 2 seasons ago, went through the injury. He's been battling back. How's he doing at this point?
He's battling, but the truth of the matter is we have some guys in the room that understand there's an opportunity there. So I'm always talking to Phil about it's important for him not to think about what he did, but find a way to work his way back and see if he can get an opportunity again, because the competition is stiff in the room. We like that.
And follow to that, looks like he's been playing a lot of guard as well. You have some other guys that have been tackles here that are playing some guard. So talk about that versatility a little bit. How much does that help having so many of those guys that are experienced, but they can slide inside a little bit too?
Yeah, the versatility is a beautiful thing, but you got to get in where you can fit in, right? I always tell guys my story all the time, coming into college, like I never played a snap of offensive football in high school. Didn't even play high school football until I was a junior in high school. So when I got to college, I was the number 4 defensive player in the country. This is how many snaps I got on defense when I got to college. You said, hey, you're going to play right tackle for us. And the biggest thing is having that mindset that wherever you need me, I'm going to be available, and I'm going to be the best I can be when I'm available.
Coach, what's been your impression of the go-go offense in Brandon Marion so far?
Love it. Love it because it's aggressive with everything, right? It's not a passive offense. It's something that every player can see themselves making a play on in every play. Like there are no passive blocks, there are no passive routes, there are no passive run techniques. Like it's all going forward, and that's something I think everybody can appreciate.
Anything else for Coach?
With that tackle competition, I know it'll go through fall camp, and there's a lot of guys there. Do you ultimately want to settle on top two guys, or would you envision some rotation there because there's a lot of guys that have earned playing time?
Yeah, you would love to. You would love to, but at the same time, it's a long season. So at some point, you're gonna get somebody nicked up, right? Might have some issues. You might have a guy that you got to rotate in for whatever reason. So you would obviously like to finish spring ball knowing who your top 5 are going to be. The greatest thing right now is we know who our top 8 or 9 are going to be, but we don't necessarily have the understanding that this is going to be solidified top 5. And it's for a great reason because everybody's really striving for those top 5 spots.
Hey, for Coach Hammer, being a young coach in the room, what have you been able to take away now having a couple seasons under your belt with this crew?
The biggest thing is I attack every day to learn something new every day. And with the 3 people around me, the things they've been through, the things they can teach me, it's promoted me and developed me as a coach, but also as a person. And so the difference I've seen myself growing up is the uses of my voice. They trust me to run drills, use my voice, get on the players if needed, of course. And they tell the players my voice is an extension of theirs. So they open the floor to bring me to where I want to go. Position coach, coordinator, head coach, looking at the future. And I take every day grateful and step back and observe and learn every single day.
Coach George, you mentioned having your top 8 or 9. This year's different in that there's no spring portal. And in the past, especially offensive line, it could have been another group you're trying to teach over the summer. How much does it help the offensive line more than anybody else, maybe, that you're not going to have all that change again in the summer?
Yeah, this is who we got, right? And I heard one coach say it the best, we all signed a 1-year contract. Let's be honest about it, right? And that 1-year contract basically states, you love me, I love you. You're going to be hard on me, I'm going to be hard on you. So it gives us an opportunity to really coach for a year, and it gives the player an opportunity to develop. Let's be honest, right? They're not thinking about if this doesn't work out, I got this option next in 3 months. Imagine being married and having that opportunity, right? But at the same time, the greatest thing about it is that this is the guy that you have from a development standpoint. It takes longer than 3 months to get a guy where you need him to go. This is our foundation. We understand this is going to be our group. They're doing a really good job of accepting that and taking the development, but also understanding that it's going to be a year development as opposed to a few months.
Anything else for you?
Coach, one last one, I guess, for me. What are some of the things that this go-go offense asks of your group that maybe some of the offenses in the past couple years maybe didn't?
Well, I think the thing that Brennan does a really good job of is keeping it simple. Keeping it simple so guys can execute, right? There's a bunch of thinking involved in it, but these are the types of things that you think of in meetings, not at the snap, right? And that's the biggest thing. He keeps it very simple for the guys up front. They understand who to get, how to get them, and they do it very aggressively, and that's what you want.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
I got it now. Coach Grant, how you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you doing?
Finally got you on correctly now. Hey, first of all, wanted to say hello. Good to meet you. But we saw Coach George talk about how his weight loss journey started with you and you been keeping him accountable. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it started, early 2025. So he started his 175 hard. And I looked at myself as well. I was like, I could get fit. I'm telling my players to work out. I'm telling my players to run. I need to get more fit myself.
Yeah.
And so I saw it as an opportunity to, one, make myself better, but then two, develop a friend in the process, hold someone accountable in the process. And just all in all, working through it, we've been on this journey, we'll do a challenge, a month or so, take a break off, go again. There's the balance between it and just keeping going now, 15 months, 14 months now at this time. And we're even now going to the point where we're going to run the Boulder here, which is a 10K. And so me and him are going to do it together. We got a little bragging rights on the side, of course, and, just having it with us. We're always chirping each other. You get it in today. It's a competitive nature to it.
Yeah. Can you tell the people a little bit, give them a little bit about your background and how did you get to the position that you're in right now?
Yeah, so originally I'm from Germantown Hills, Illinois. Grew up, semi-rural, kind of close to Peoria, a little urban area, and then went off to college in Wisconsin at Wisconsin Lutheran College, and I actually played collegiate golf, and for 4 years on the team there, and then I made my way out to New Mexico to work for the Air Force, and then I came up to Boulder for grad school. And my background's in engineering, so I got 2 engineering degrees and then a physics degree. And so when Coach Prime came here, there's an opportunity for student coaches. So I was like, oh, this is an awesome opportunity. If it doesn't go anywhere from there because of my academic track, so be it, but I'll learn something from it. And Coach Gunner scooped me up my second day, and he didn't let me go. He said, you're going to be with me. I embraced it and kept going and going and going and just learning from him. And then the addition of George and Dre, and then, of course, the other offensive line coaches we've had in the past, I just keep leveling myself up, leveling up my knowledge, and pushing forward.
Well, how did you continue to level up that knowledge other than just learning from those coaches? Like what did you do to just make sure you were in position to absorb all of those different nuances of the offensive line to help be able to coach it? You have to understand it and learn it first. So how did you go about that?
To begin, I always look at myself intrinsically to learn. Like, I've always been a learner. My academic background speaks to that. And coming from that is like, when Gunner got to me and I saw it was a new task, like, I had to learn something fast, especially with, all my engineering stuff and all of that background. Like, I had the ability to learn and learn new things, especially semester. But then learning football was a new thing. So I attacked it how I attacked my academics, to be honest with you. I
Right.
was still in school when I started, and then the background of being a student athlete, like the mindset that I wanted to have, I wanted to be a great golfer. I wanted to compete, win championships for my school as well. And so the mindset of getting better, being an athlete, helps me to learn better. But then also on the side, like, I can relate to these athletes, even though I didn't play football, but from the
hmm
mindset of being a student athlete, the life of being a student athlete, the
hmm
mindset you have to win, and what you need to do to win.
Because it's all learning for one in the classroom. You guys are in the classroom so much, you're learning. So hey, I'm glad you said that, putting it out there like that. That's first of all, if people want to follow you, let them know where they can follow you at. And also let's give us a couple shout outs to some people out there that might be listening to you.
Yeah, so on Instagram, you can follow me at grant.hammer. And then follow some shout outs, man. I'll just give shout outs to my family. My mom, Jerry, my dad, Rick, and my sister, Robin. And then she has a husband, Danny, and my niece and nephew, man. My nephew, Waylon Prosper Ryman, he's my why. And because of the name itself has some family background to it, but I never had a brother. I just had a sister, and I was the youngest. So, I mean, I'm a leader for him. I'm an example for him. He looks up to me, and living in Illinois, he's the biggest Buffs fan, like,
Mm.
of all time. Like, I don't even bigger when I was just a student here. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. Hey, great to meet you. Glad that you can put it out there for everybody who had any questions. And we look forward to having you back on the Morning Run Live.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Grant
Please,
Hammer.
Hammer, don't hurt him. It's the Hammer, man. It was Grant Hammer. So now
Yes.
everybody in the chat who's like, hey, who's that Robin to their Batman? Who's that
hmm
guy sitting there? We don't know his name. Now you know
Right.
Grant.
There you go. Right here on the Morning Run live. Uncle Nita, Big Dog, Chico.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey,
No, Chico is not talking about nothing.
who is that?
That's Coach Gerard talking about you, man. Say you ain't
Oh,
talking about
man.
nothing.
Shout out to Coach Dre, man.
Chico, really?
What's up, big dog?
What you doing? When you want, I heard you talk. You want Chico? Come on now.
Okay. I got better questions for you, Coach Dre. You
No,
want to
no,
come
no, no,
on?
no, no. I'm coming back on. I'm coming back on another time. No, I just need you to do it
Okay.
better. You do better,
Yes,
Chico.
sir. Will
I'm gonna be
do.
back.
All right. I know you're gonna hold me accountable. He probably should have said that in front of Uncle Neely, though. Oh, man. Oh, man. Shout out to Coach Dre, man. One of my favorite Cowboys ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
We go way back
Hey,
then too, man. A lot of people don't know that he and I actually met through mutual family when he was with the Cowboys. And uh, get this, Chico, true story. The Monday night football game, Cowboys versus New England Patriots, when Bledsoe, who was now with the Cowboys, got benched and Romo went in to start the second half. I was at that game as a guest of Coach Dre.
no.
Yep.
Okay.
And then 20 years later, we're here in Colorado together.
Speaking of some sponsors that we do have, is get the Boulder Broker Hotel. Check them out. Let them know what they need to say, Unc.
All they need to say is when they make their reservation or at check in, Uncle Neely sent me, and you're getting 20% off. And that deal is not only for the spring game, that deal is across the summer. That deal is this fall for home games.
Mm.
Go to the Boulder Broker Inn at 30th and Baseline, right around the corner from the campus, right down the hill from the stadium, walking distance, 20% off. Tell them Uncle Neely sent you.
And no matter where you are, you can call or go on the website right now on theboulderbroker.com and you can do your reservations and everything, but you can tell them
Yes,
over the
sir.
phone too. Hey,
Yes, sir.
Uncle
I
Neely
mean,
sent me.
like, now what you can't do is check in, stay a couple of nights, and on the way out, go,
Oh.
I can't do that.
No, dog. Ain't do it like that. You understand me? So 303-343-3515. That's the number to our very own Miss Denise Smith, State Farm agent. Make sure you go to Denise Smith Insurance. That's the new website, DeniseSmithInsurance.com, and protect what matters most to you. State Farm with Denise Smith. He's cute.
Chico, you matter to me. I'm gonna call up Denise Smith, see if I can get a Chico policy.
She's gonna be like, you know what? That's gonna be kind of expensive for you. Cause you always messing with him, and he might just pop off at any time, like
And I'm saying,
Yaya said, on site.
I was saying, what you mean by expensive? She saw about like a pack of Starbursts.
Like a Newport Longs. Easy. Until next time, guys. Y'all just saw the bus O-line, and y'all will see much more. Stay tuned for more. We're gonna have more clips from the exclusive Pro Day coverage that we had yesterday. Look out for those interviews and everything else. Until next time, we're gonna be up and about of here, man. Shocks in the sky, black fist, high rebel flags, that stand rock. Peace in the middle. Yeah, you bet. Roll up and roll out.